Okay, class. Well, today I'm going to go ahead and go over the word of the week or word part of the week. And this week we're going to be looking at socio, which means companion or friend. So I want you to think about this for a minute. If you can think of a symbol that would represent socio, what would that be? I think some of you may think of friends, maybe drawing a picture of two friends. Companions, maybe two friends or dogs that are together. So yes, socio means companion or friend. So we're going to look at word number one. Word number one, the word is anti-social, and it is an adjective, which means it's used to describe, as we know, a person, place, or a thing. So if I were to divide this word like I would with you guys in class, where would I divide it? Okay, if you guessed right here between the I and the S, that is good, a good start. So I know for some of you this word is familiar, and you are probably familiar with this word because you've probably heard it before. But I want you to just kind of look at it for the word parts and study it as we would when we are in class reviewing the list. Okay, so social we already know has something to do with friend or companion, so I'm just going to put friend up here. And anti, think about anti meaning against, right? Okay, this is kind of awkward, against friend. Okay, so let's look at the definition. Oh, look at that. So here's the definition. It is against the basic rules of a group, harmful to the people in a group. Sometimes a person who does not like to associate with other people can be described as being antisocial. Okay. Moving on to number two, the word is associate. All right, and as you take a look here, it is a noun, which means it's going to be a person, a place, or a thing. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and divide this word to kind of isolate the word part that we're studying. So here we go, soc. It's not socio, but we see soc right here. Okay, and it is a noun, which means it's going to be a person, place, or a thing. So an associate here, it doesn't end in ION. It's probably not a thing. Maybe it's a person. Let's check it out. Some of you may already know what this word is, but let's take a look at it. Oh, it is a fellow worker or friend, usually related to an office. Okay, so somebody who works in an office and their co-workers that do the same thing that they do, they would be considered an associate. Kind of like a peer, okay, but this is usually within an office, all right? Moving on to number three, the word is association. And association is a noun. So we're going to go ahead and break down this word as we would in class. So right here, if you guessed, that is correct. Between the two S's, you're going to make a line. And it doesn't say socio, but associa. Interesting. Maybe right there. Huh. All right. So again, we know this means friend. And as we've already discussed before, anything that ends in ION, it's usually a thing, right? So an association is going to be a thing. Let's take a look at the definition. Association, a group of people who have gathered based on similar goals or associate or belief. A group of people. So an association is what? It's a group of people. Group of people who do what? Who have gathered based on similar goals or beliefs. An association, almost like a club maybe? That would probably make sense. Moving on to number four. Word number four is disassociate. Disassociate. And it is a verb, which means it's going to be an action. So you are going to disassociate is how it would be used. All right, so let's go ahead and break down this word by word parts. Again, some of these words may be familiar to you and you are probably know what they mean, but let's break it down to see how we can study this word using its word parts based upon what we know. All right, so let's break it down. So if you guess, one of the cuts, as I like to call them, is right between the two S's. You've guessed correctly. And right about there. Yep. And we have dis. All right. So kind of like disappear, disassociate. So dis usually means not, right? I think we discussed this in previous lessons, not. The socio or socia part is the friend or companion part. Okay. And then it's an action, not to friend, maybe not to be friends. I don't know. Let's check it out. Let's look at the definition. Ooh, okay, interesting. To break ties with the group, to end a friendship, to sever a relationship. Okay, sometimes for unforeseen reasons, we disassociate with certain people or friends because maybe there was some kind of conflict or there was a fight. So again, disassociate is to break ties with the group or to end a friendship. All right, moving on to number 5. Okay, the word is social. Social. Okay, it's an adjective, which means it's used to describe a person, place, or a thing. Again, this is a familiar word that I think many of you are already familiar with, but I want you to look at the word part to recognize it. And let's check it out. What does this word have to do directly with the word friend or companion? All right. Social means friendly. A person who enjoys companions. Okay, social is one of those words that, could also maybe be used as a noun, to go to a social. However, for the purposes of this assignment, we're going to use it as an adjective. Okay, so it just means friendly, or a person who enjoys companions. Some people are social. They like to, talk and be with friends. Others are not. Okay, so much. So social is friendly. Moving on to number 6, the word is socialite. And it is a noun. Socialite. Again, if we were to divide this word, probably right here where it says socia and light. And it is a noun. So it's either going to be a person, a place, or a thing. So here we go, friend. All right. So let's take a look at the definition. See what it means. See what it has to do with the word friend. Ooh, socialite. A person who is important or of high rank within a specific, usually fashionable group. Again, a person who is important or of high rank within a specific, usually fashionable group. So sometimes you could see socialites that are maybe like on Instagram that are being followed. I don't know, I think of the Kardashians as being socialites of fashion and social media. So socialites, okay, it's a person who is important or of high rank within a specific usually fashionable group or popular group. Moving on to number 7, the word is sociogram. So sociogram is a noun, right? So if we were to divide this word, where would we divide it? If you guessed right between the O and the G, you are correct. So here we actually have the word part being true to itself. It's socio. So we have here friend again. Gram, Gram is kind of like when you get a telegram maybe. Okay, I don't know. Let's see what it has to do with any of that. Oh, sociogram is a diagram that represents each person's friends in a classroom. A diagram that represents each person's friend in a classroom. Interesting. Okay, so it's some kind of diagram or drawing, right, that represents each person's friend in the classroom. So when you are doing the sentence or homework assignment, make sure that you use it as a noun and try to use it as closely as possible to this definition. All right, moving on to number 8. The word is sociology, okay, and it is a noun. So if we were to divide the word part, where would we divide it? If you guess between the O and the L, you guessed correctly. sociology. Now, socio means friend or companion, right? Friend. Okay, ology, as we have already been familiar with this part, means a study of. Study of. Interesting. Like biology, technology, ology. Got it. All right, so some of you may or may not be familiar with this word. So if you see, this definition is the study of how people get along. All right, the study of how people get along. Sociology. I actually have a bachelor's in sociology. I studied the study of how people get along. Okay, moving on to number 9. Number 9, the word is sociopath. Sociopath. It is a noun. Okay, if we were to break down the word into a word part, where would you break it down? If you guess between the O and the P, you are correct. And sociopath is a noun, which means it's going to be a person, place, or a thing. All right, so friend, again, some of you may already be familiar with this word. Okay, this is a word that has been used before and you might have heard of it. But let's check out what it means, okay? Sociopath, a person who suffers from an antisocial mental disorder. A sociopath is a what? A person. So it's a noun, it's a person who suffers from an antisocial mental disorder, okay? Moving on to number 10. The word is unsocial, okay, and it is an adjective, unsocial. So if we were to cut this word, where would you cut it? If you guessed right between the N and the S, you've guessed correctly. And it is an adjective. Again, it's going to be used to describe a person, place, or a thing. Okay, we know what social means, right? If you look up here, we already know what that means. It's friendly, a person who is friendly, right? And un means opposite, right? Or not. Like undone or reverse, right? So let's take a look at the definition, see what it has to do with the word parts. Okay. Unsocial is not social, having or showing a dislike for others in a group. Okay, so being unsocial is the opposite of being social, is not being social, unhaving or showing a dislike for others in a group. Okay, and this concludes the end of this tutorial for the word part socio. I hope this was helpful to all of you.